Everybody, we're waiting for all the blue to turn green. Okay, LinkedIn. Okay, YouTube. Well, we got three, four greens. We're waiting for YouTube to catch up, and then Jordan will count us down. We're still waiting for YouTube to handshake with us. We're good. Okay, Jordan, count us backwards from 10, and I'll put the music on and we'll go. Okay, Jordan, you ready?
All right, give me one quick second. Sorry about that.
Okay, I'm going to start with my gang. Okay, gang, join with me. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You've been warned. Here we go. 10, come on. 9,
Nine, eight,
8, 7,
seven,
6,
six,
5,
five,
4,
four,
3. It's going to be a
three,
long night. 2,
two,
1.
one.
Blast off. There we go.
Where does yesterday's future, which is
Never know
already
which
here,
direction to do
meet
that.
today's future, which is about to happen, and tomorrow's future, which could be just minutes away? Welcome to Technology Revolution, the future of now, where host Bonnie D. Graham asks savvy futurists for their predictions about the tech-driven trends that are shaping our future right now. Here's your host, who will take us into the future of now, Bonnie D. Graham.
Bonnie D in the house. Thank you very much to the voice of Ryan Treasure. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Technology Revolution. And if you can look, Bill, where'd the car go? We missed the car behind you. Put it
Coming
back.
back. Coming
Put
back.
it back. We have a special show for you today. Yes, we always talk about the future of some industry in AI, but those of you who've been watching regularly, and I know there are a couple of you around the world, may recognize these wonderful smiling faces. Bill, you got to smile now. Simon, you got to smile a little bit. There you go. And I'm smiling too. We're talking about the future of not just automotive, not just circular economy automotive, which is Simon's bailiwick, but we're talking about the future of driving and AI. Will you still have keys to your own car? Will the car be self-driving? Will it have a lot of automated features that you're thinking, I need to go back to college to learn how to run this thing? Will you still feel like vroom when you get in your car? Do you have any highways near you or back roads you can go vroom on? We're going to share some predictions. We're going to do some of our, oh, that's beautiful, Bill. We're going to do some predictions. We're going to do some, I hope everybody's watching. I'm telling Bill it's beautiful. He's a nice looking guy, but I'm talking about the car behind him too. We're going to share some movie and TV and song quotes and relate them to the topic. We're going to share some predictions and we're going to get some driving stories, and I've got a couple of them too. So let me start. Welcome everybody. Wave hello to LinkedIn. Wave hello. Come on. There you go. Oh, three of my favorite people. Don't tell my other guests. All right, let me do my opening here. Welcome, global audience, to Technology Revolution's Glow. Bonnie D on her Scarlett mic, your hosting guide. Oh, you know. Today we shift gears to a topic quite profound, the future of driving our cars, where AI knows no bound. Uh-oh. From smart automation to steering journeys redefined, innovation accelerates, leaving horse and buggy days behind. I put that in. Three futurists will share drives that made their spirits soar, from winding roads to open lanes as the pedal hits the floor. By the way, Sylvie didn't write that. I did. I want you to know. Let me do the individual introductions, and these are all fresh and new, everybody. So, Eric Simone, IoT Edge and AI ignite his flair. At Clearblade's helm, he forges tech beyond compare. From Purdue's hallowed halls to software's bold acclaim, Eric architects tomorrow, fueling each visionary aim. With code that hums and insights clear, his mission rings true. Eric's shaping roads where intelligence will imbue. What do you think?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I don't know if my developers can make code hum, but I'll ask them on the next stand-up call.
I'm a former program analyst. I'll help them make it hum. There you go. We'll bring up some old COBOL and PL1 for your guys. Thank you very much. And I'm trying to get your team on the show in a couple weeks. So we're working with Danielle to schedule that. And now let's go to Simon J.A. Meitz. That's a long name. Champion of circular systems and ESG's refrain, Simon's strategic mind drives progress down the lane. From EY Carbon's green crusade to Roarin's noble quest, Simon charts sustainability's path where innovation never rests. With wisdom sharp, his counsel steers us through shifting ground. Simon helps our world evolve where purpose is profound. What'd you think?
Great. Thank you. Amazing, as
You're,
always.
You're welcome. I redo them every time. And Bill Brown is here. Back in the 80s, 16K was all he'd known. Bill spotted IoT's dawn and let innovation be sown. From AT&T's wired days to projects once derailed, he rescued, he rebuilt, and hammered lessons into rails. A tech pioneer whose savvy turns old failures into gold. Bill's vision paves the smart road where stories are yet untold. Bill, do you like that?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a transcript of that and use that as my LinkedIn intro.
I don't give transcripts, I give clips. I'll give you clips of that. It's all in the reading, you understand. So buckle in, dear audience. We've only just begun as AI meets cars with wisdom, speed, and fun. Bonnie D and her Futurists, the journey is ours to drive. Together, let's explore the world where tomorrow comes alive. What'd y'all think? Pretty cool?
Excellent, as always.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll go back to Sylvie and tell her. I really will. Yeah, I'm sometimes not happy with what she does. You know, I upped my Sylvie membership. Let's just leave it at that. It'll be a secret to anybody who doesn't know. And I separated my different projects, and she responds very fast. But now you get a little thing that says thinking, and it'll say the person has requested an 8 stanza or a 6-line rhyming stanza with this person's bio working, and then it'll say 14 seconds, and then the rhyme appears. I never saw that background thinking on the screen before, and that's part of the fun of the whole project, and you all know what I'm talking about. So let's quickly go around the table because we have so much to talk about today. Vroom, vroom. Everybody, you can just say vroom, vroom anytime you want during the show. We'll all know what it is. And let's fill in any blanks, anything new that's happened since you were on a couple weeks ago. Eric, I'm putting you on first. Let's get a couple updates from you, please. And welcome back.
Things are humming at Clearblade. I mean, we've got lots of new projects kicking off. Our collaboration with Google is going extremely well, and it's nice to have a big brother partner like that to help you as you go and implement things like AI with IoT.
Bravo to you. Can I ask, how long did it take to get a partnership with Google? That's quite an accomplishment.
Years. Any big organization takes some time, but the stars aligned early this year as AI moves into streaming machine data. It's the next frontier, right? Gathering all that data and putting it into AI.
Yep. And we've always wondered, especially in a car, who owns the data? Who owns it? Is it the manufacturer? Is it the owner? Is it the lessee? Is it I think I said that right. Is it the insurance company? Is it the people in the car who were talking or picking streaming services? Who owns the data? Very, very interesting question for another time and another show. Thank you, Eric. Lovely to have you back. And a shout out to Danielle, of course. Simon is back as always. Vroom, vroom. Simon, fill us in. Anything new with you? You don't have any announcements yet, do you?
No.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint, no announcements yet, so I'm keeping quiet on that front yet. But I will share, actually, the person who says vroom, vroom the most in my life is my little son. So every time he sees a car, it's vroom, vroom. Auto was his, I think, third word after mom and dad. It was car. And broom, broom, he always says now when he gets on his balance bike. So he got that 2 weeks now, and he's really, really doing well. But
adorable. So anything with you? So what's new with you besides your vroom, vroom son? Anything else?
Nothing much, to be honest. I also said from a professional standpoint, we've experienced as well the ups and downs in working with one of the bigger tech giants. I'm not mentioning the name here, but with Vrooom, we're quite lucky that we can make that work quite fast. And I think if you have the right project and the right people to talk to, the right network, then you can catalyze that process quite quickly. So
very
that's
nice.
one of the challenges we had as well.
You know what? I gave up on the word lucky in terms of business years ago, and I would say you weren't lucky, you're smart. If you do it smart, you do it right. Maybe the stars are aligned, but it takes that something special. And I don't think it's left to luck. Maybe to get people together in the same room. Oh, I didn't know you were going to be here. But after that, I think it takes being smart and savvy and dedicated and passionate and understanding your mission. Right, Eric? That's
Right. Resilience. Vroom.
resilience. Vroom, vroom. Word of the day.
Yeah,
Simon, you
yeah.
agree with that? It
I was just like, I was just contemplating that. I think it's like a lot of work just goes poof. I mean, you're building a network. You're talking a lot to different kind of people, and sometimes this effort really pays off because you know the right people. You can bring the right people onto one table, and if the right people are at the same table, then things can happen really, really fast, even in big corporations like I've been talking to IBM, I've been talking to SAP. I worked for years and years in EY. So if you get the right people on board, you can make it happen. And building that network and that connection, I think, is what takes a lot of time.
vroom, vroom. There we go. Stay on that road. Bill Brown, welcome
vroom.
back. Bill, tell
Thank
us
you for
what's
having me back.
Oh, you're welcome. Talk to us. What's new with you?
Oh, things are going really well. We've been really fortunate. We have a lot of really, really great customers and clients, specifically in the IoT space. But we just got two new startups that are focused largely on IoT and RFID and things like that. Then they seem to be pretty well poised to disrupt their, individual segments within their industry. So it looks like they'll be fun to work with.
Oh my goodness, there's that word. Fun and work in the same sentence. Is that allowed? I
Yeah,
always
only
thought
if you're
it.
working in AI and IoT. Everything else is boring.
I was told years ago I was a
No.
marketing director for a business software company on Long Island. No, it was a a correspondent bank company. Excuse me. The same boss was with me in two companies, and he said, as long as we're putting in all this extra time and work, roll up your sleeves and let's have fun. And I thought, isn't that interesting? He said, you got to have some fun doing what we're doing because we're putting in so much time and effort to do what we are trying to do. Anyway, there we go. Well, welcome
And
all
it's hard,
back.
right?
It
And it's hard. So you
it
got to have
is.
fun, right? I mean,
I think so. I think it's a lost opportunity putting all the time that we each put into what we do, and we try to do it so well if you're not having some fun along the way. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for words of wisdom, Mr. Brown. Let's go to your opening quotes. Let's do this fast, and we'll do a couple predictions, and then we're going to tell stories. So, Eric Simone has sent a quote from, a song by Bob Schneider on his album Lovely Creatures 2009, and the song is 40 Dogs, parentheses, like Romeo and Juliet, close parentheses. Rob Schneider, born in Austin, Texas, based musician, former lead singer of the rock band Ugly Americans? I didn't even want to say that, Eric. He's recorded and released over 20 studio albums and EPs. I didn't know that. On his own record label, Shakorama Records. I'm just going to leave that alone. Acoustic singer-songwriter presentation, experimenting in electronic sound, rock, and other cross-genre combinations. And here is the quote. You want to read it or sing it, Eric? You want me to read it?
You can read it, and then maybe I'll join in.
Okay, come out tonight. Come out with me, baby. We'll throw the careful into the crazy. Turn the sky black into a sky blue. Turn a close shave into a hoo-hoo.
Yeah,
I do a good cold read, Eric. I have no idea what this. Go ahead.
So those of you in Austin will know Bob Schneider. He is an icon in Austin, Texas. When I moved there in 2000, I got to know Bob Schneider. Played a lot of events, house events and so forth. And he's a creative guy. He is an icon in Austin, Texas. Every time I go back, I try to catch a show. He's constantly playing at different clubs and bars. And you want Bob Schneider again is Austin, Texas to me. So I love this song because there's a lot of ways you can spin it. I put it on a video for my wife years ago, Mother's Day, with pictures of the kids about how fun life can be as your little ones are growing up, as Simon is going through that. But it also talks about fun, right? It's about liberation, about letting go and trusting the ride. exactly where we're going with cars and AI, right? And you turn something routine into joyful and just a little bit wild. And Bob himself is just a little bit wild. Little note, I've got a piece of art from Bob Schneider that I bought several years ago in Austin. So he's an artist as well. It's really cool Spider-Man art that he did. He does a lot of fictional characters. So he's a great guy, and his music's fantastic. So I encourage you to look him up.
I will listen. I will listen. I hope I did justice to the lyrics with a cold read. Was that okay?
It was okay. It was good. He
Oh,
does a lot of
God.
live performances of that song, so it's a lot
I
of fun.
thought you were going to sing. I have to go get my drums in the other room. Thank you. Thank
Maybe
you.
later we'll get me warmed up and we'll throw it in.
Okay, you start warming up now. I'm going to go to Simon's quote. Simon is quoting Shuri, the Queen of Wakanda, played by the actress Letitia Wright. Of course, the movie Black Panther, 2018 superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character, distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Picture. This is the 18th film in the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let's see, starring, oh my goodness, Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, Black Panther, Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, oh, so many interesting people. Wonderful. What, Sterling K. Brown? I'm reading the names I recognize. Angela Bassett, Forrest Whitaker, Andy Serkis. My goodness gracious. T'Challa is crowned king of Wakanda following his father's death, but he's challenged by Killmonger, who plans to abandon the country's isolationist policies and begin a global revolution. Shuri is the courageous and tech-savvy younger sister of T'Challa and the daughter of T'Chaka and Ramonda. Okay, we're going to leave it at that. And here is the quote Simon has picked. How many times do I have to teach you? Just because something works doesn't mean it can't be improved. Oh, my goodness. Go ahead, Simon. Relate it to our topic, please.
So, I really love this quote because in my mind it captures the heart of innovation. So you always have to think yourself, even if it's working, how can I make it better? And I think this is where AI comes in terms of the mobility sector, and particularly for cars, of course. So cars have been working, of course, for over a century, but with AI now, we can start to rethink what cars are, not what they do, but what they are actually. And it's not anymore that much about improving the engine or anything else in the car. It's about improving the experience, the whole ecosystem, and at the end of the day, the purpose of the car. And AI in that context will be this great lever that will make good enough into something more seamless, more extraordinary, and just more you.
Wow. I just want to sit with that for a second. I think that's a very quotable, iconic moment. Eric and Bill, you agree? When
Great.
Simon said, it's what you are, what the car is. That, Simon, you went there. You took us there. Thank you. Wow, that almost stopped the show. I mean, everybody here
Let's
was
stop the show, we're done.
brilliant, but that was just, you just said it and it just became a moment. Thank you very, very much. Catch my breath here. Okay, let's go to Bill Brown. Bill has a quote from Dom Cobb, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. We've got some great actors and actresses here and song people. Inception, 2010 sci-fi action heist movie, written and directed by Christopher Nolan, produced with his wife, Emma Thomas. She apparently produced and wrote with him. The film stars DiCaprio as a professional thief extractor, who uses experimental dream-sharing technology to steal information for corporate espionage by infiltrating the dream subconscious of his targets. And he's offered a chance to have his whole criminal history erased as payment, recompense, if you will, for the implementation of another person's idea into a target subconscious. Now you're scaring me. I can't do that. Okay, Bill Brown, here's the quote you picked. An idea is like a virus, resilient, highly contagious, and the smallest seed of an idea can grow. It can grow to define or destroy you. Oh, Bill, we don't do doom and gloom. Make this positive, please. Go ahead, Bill Brown.
As I was reading it, it sounded way more negative than I thought it was.
Make it happy. Make it happy. Go ahead.
But really, right, the idea is that, we get these ideas, and as we move from concept, right, and begin to execute on it, there's a whole bunch of other ideas that kind of come with it. And if you're not consciously navigating your path, right, you may take the wrong turn. Think about I was thinking about autonomous vehicles, right? And if you launch too early or when you're not ready, right, it can be dangerous. However, if you're not, it can change the world, right, and the way we work. Now, autonomous cars have come a long way. They're all really safe. They're all over the place now. They're in San Francisco. They're in Atlanta. They're probably in Austin, because everything cool is in Austin, right? But they're anyway. That's the quote. What stuck with me about it long term was that there's risks with everything we do. We just have to make sure that we keep our eyes open as we're traveling this journey.
Thank you very much. Very well done. You rescued that beautifully. I was trying to put your prediction into the chat, Eric, and it looks like Zoom has changed the parameters here in terms of me being able to send it to you privately. I've got to figure that out. They just keep doing things. So I'm going to read this one, Eric, and I think this will work for you. So we're going to do a prediction from each of you, and let's see how we have a lot of time today. So, Eric, I'm going to your prediction number 2, which is appropriate for us. I'll read it. The joy of driving will make a comeback. While much of the conversation around AI and cars focuses on full automation and removing humans from the driver's seat, a powerful counter trend is emerging. Rather than eliminating human control, AI will enhance it and redefine what it means to enjoy driving in the first place. That's a big, bold statement, and it makes me happy and excited. Eric, why don't you lay this out for us, please?
Yeah, so I've got two completely opposite predictions, right? This is the joy of driving part of it, which is, look, we're talking about automating everything, making driving more efficient, automated. Think of it like almost trains of vehicles coming together, and you just sitting in and experiencing the ride. But there's another side of driving, which is one that I love, which is feeling the car, being able to race a car, open roads, all of that excitement that has cars like that are behind Simon being built. And I don't think that's going away with all this automation. I think you're going to have two different types of areas in the United States, right? You'll have city, which is much more efficient, and then or in the world, right? Look at Germany, Autobahn. You're going to have these open roadways with these more enabled cars to allow those of us that aren't professional drivers to drive as if we were professional drivers, right, in a much safer way. So rather than eliminating human control, AI will enhance it and refine what it means to enjoy driving in the first place. So advanced driver assist systems powered by onboard AI and edge intelligence will enable augmented driving experiences. So I was just watching an old intro clip from Speed Racer back in the 60s, so I'm aging myself, but Speed Racer had all these fancy cars and they would go on these crazy races. But now you'll be able to do things like that with smart systems that are acting as co-pilots, not just taking over when needed, but actively helping drivers improve, right? You can imagine AI helping perfect your turns on a winding road, adjusting throttle response on wet pavement, or optimizing engine output for performance or efficiency based on current driving conditions. Anyone that's been in a race car with a professional, you're blown away at the amount of skill that it takes to drive one of these vehicles. It's embarrassing to have a sports car when you get into one with a professional and you realize, wow, I've had this wonderful car for years and I really do not know how to drive it. So adapting to the driver's skill level, personalized feedback, subtle enhancements that build confidence and engagement, so you can see it as training. AI might unlock performance modes with immersive feedback, steering input, heads-up displays, audio cues for everyday drivers. It could mean safer, smoother rides. So we're going to bring that joy of driving along with the efficiency of driving. I think it's two different segments. I mean, look at the designs that are behind us. These aren't cars that are built just for mass transportation. These are cars built for speed, and excitement and power. And I don't think that goes away with automation and AI.
I agree. I agree. Let's go around the panel. Simon, thoughts on what Eric just shared?
I mean, we've been discussing that on one of our last shows already with the two different tribes. I think there's definitely going to be this one tribe, and I have to say, I love driving a car as well. This like manual feel. The more manual, the better. To be honest, in the car in the back there, that's actually me driving. So that was super much fun. But I think the bigger share of customers will probably be the ones that are leaning a bit more towards comfort, towards experience, and so on. But that's kind of what my prediction is about. So
thank you. We'll get to your prediction
it
in
a
a
second.
second. Bill Brown, thoughts on what Eric just shared? What do you think?
Oh, I think he was spot on, right? There's two paths that the world's going to go, right? The autonomous and then the more personalized experience. I think right now that personalized cabin, that personalized driving experience is really what's sort of emerging as the more near term and probably long term as well, because Eric touched on all the critical points, right? The throttle control, the feel of the car. People, not just men, right, or boys, right, women and girls, they enjoy driving. They like the feel of the car. My wife loves to drive a stick, right? She'll tell you she likes the way it feels when it falls into gear. Although I don't know that they actually fall into gear anymore, right? Because they're sort of drive by, shift by wire. But she loves a stick shift, and it's because of the way it makes her feel and how it feels when she's operating it. So I think Eric's spot on.
Very, very interesting. Thank you very much. Eric, any feedback back to your co-panelists here?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the mass need is going to be more for efficiency and integration with infrastructure, but there's going to be those open roadways where the rebels are out there running their personalized speed demons and having fun doing it.
I used to host a show among my 48 series I created, produced, and host for SAP Game Changers Radio a few years ago. And one was called The Future of Cars with Game Changers. And after a while, and we weren't talking about AI back in those days. I started that in probably 2011, 2012. And I used to ask my guests, we're all thought leadership roundtables like this. And I used to say, I think it was in 5 or 10 years, will you still have the keys to your own car? And we were talking about the sharing economy where you would say, okay, it's like a timeshare for an apartment or a house or a vacation spot. I need an SUV for the weekend, or I need a sports car for a date, or I need whatever it is. I need a convertible to go to the beach, blah, blah, blah. But the idea of will you still have your own keys? I was thinking, will you still be driving at all your own car? Will you want to have your own car to drive? And now we are elevating, if I can say that, the experience of what AI can do to enhance, improve, excite the experience of still driving your own car. But then we bring in autonomous cars into that mix. And the question is, you've got the keys or the push button, or in my case, you get in and, you push the button on the thing and it starts going. You don't need a key to turn the engine anymore. But the question is the enhancement from AI that's making it different. We weren't talking about that then. Now we are. So the conversation has changed. But let me ask each of you, in 5 years from right now, will you still have a car in the garage? Will you be holding the steering wheel and making the choices? Or will you have an autonomous car that's doing it all for you? You're sitting in the back playing crossword puzzles or whatever. Eric, what do you think? 5 years.
I think we'll have cars still. People love their cars, right?
What about you? You. For sure.
Me? Oh,
yes,
yeah,
you.
for sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm still lamenting the fact I got rid of my sports car a year and a half ago because I've got teenage drivers, and I'm waiting for those teenage drivers to grow up and move out of the house so I can get a sports car again. So
there you go. There you go.
Yes, I will still have a car or two.
Simon, what about you?
I will probably have a car. Maybe it will be an old timer where you can still smell the fuel when you get in, and you can feel the rumbling of the engine. Maybe not for a day-to-day, not for everyday use, but for exactly to experience that driving experience, driving it like up the winding road of the mountains and so on, like beautiful.
See, then the conversation hasn't changed. The experience of driving in some capacity. Bill, what about you? Will you still have a keys to your own car and want to hold on to that steering wheel 5 years?
You know what? I'm really an early adopter of pretty much any technology. So I will probably pursue some of the later technologies, and maybe I won't have my hands on the steering wheel, because I get the thrill I get. We also have a boat, a big Supra that you can surf behind, and that's really where I get the sensation of power um and things like that is out on the water. So the car, I'll be happy to just sit there, drink my coffee, and stay up to date on my emails so people stop telling me that I'm behind.
Autonomous for you. I was a boater years ago, and I was living in Eugene, Oregon, and I would bring friends from work out to the dock to go take a ride on a Friday after work, or on the weekend. I could pull skiers. I grew up boating on Long Island, but what was interesting was that everybody assumed if I had a male companion with me, that he was the owner of the boat. They'd
So
say hello to him and ignore me. Here I am in high heels and a skirt with a slit on the side, walking down the dock to go to my boat to take them on my boat on my little cruise and say, hi, so and so, hi, sir, how are you? And they'd completely ignore me because it was unheard of that. I'm sorry that a woman would own a boat and be able to take care of it. And this was a few years ago. So it was, I don't know whether that makes me crazy or a pioneer or a little bit of both, but
Trailblazer.
off trailblazer. There you go. Boat blazer. There we go. I didn't wear a
This
blazer.
topic reminds me of another song from an old song from Rush called Red Barchetta, which is all about a guy that goes to his uncle's farm and they take out an old gas-powered vehicle. And one of the lines is tires spitting gravel. I commit my weekly crime. So in this future, you're not allowed to drive autonomous vehicle, your own vehicle and gas-powered vehicle, and they go take it out on the windy road and race. So yeah, I think there's going to be very much a split between the two.
I remember trying to sell Mary Kay Cosmetics when I was living in Oregon, and I got an appointment to sell lipsticks and makeup to a woman who lived on a farm way out in the countryside. Simon, I drove to her farm and I parked in what I thought was a safe area. And when I finished coming out, and they hadn't bought a damn thing, but they sure loved the samples I was sharing with them, my car was 12 inches into the mud. I had to hire a tow truck to pull it out. They had to take the rocks out from the wheelbases under the car, and I had to have it cleaned out the next day at an auto place somewhere in town. It was an absolute mess because there was so much damn mud there. Just as I park, I sank in, and nobody told me that's where you don't park your car on the farm. So there you go. That was one of my lovely Z experiences. Let's move on. Simon is waiting patiently for a prediction. You picked number one, you said? Okay. Simon says AI I like them both. AI reshapes the automotive landscape. The competitive edge will shift from the object, the car itself, to the seamless personalized experiences that integrate effortlessly across the driver's broader life. Simon, expand that for us. That sounds interesting. Go ahead.
So I think that's basically exactly the opposite what Eric is saying. And to be honest, I took a step back. Actually, probably I took 2 steps back. I took a white sheet of paper and said, hey, what is it that drives me? What is it that drives people? And what is, I think the 2 main questions you need to answer yourself for yourself is like, what is comfort for you? And how do you define what luxury is? And first of all, maybe this explains a lot. I think first of all, a luxury is if you are in your home and actually you don't have to leave the home at all. You can work remotely. You can go online and do your shopping. Everything is delivered to the door. So one of the luxuries is probably not having to go from A to B. But what if you still have to go from A to B? And for me, I was thinking when I was younger, I was thinking, hey, the best thing, the craziest thing would be to have like this a driver with a Bentley, you sit in the back, and that's the utmost luxury you can possibly have. And I think if you can still translate that picture to the realities of today. And I think it's about how much you can keep of your personalized, I call it personalized bubble in your home. You personalize everything. Everything fits you, the music, the background, the colors, what you see, what you hear. So this is your very personalized bubble, and it gets more and more personalized over time, and even more so with AI. And I think it's key now to translate that experience into the car and make that shift from one medium, from home to the path through a shopping center, to walking outside, to getting to the car, as seamless as possible. Keep the personalized note, and make that way from A to B really about you, about your experience. So this is this experience first era we're entering right now. And that means for everybody who's producing a car right now, it means it's not anymore about the product itself. It's about the extension of this user bubble, this digital and emotional ecosystem into the car and across media this person is living in. And the company will dominate the market. The company that will win is the one that actually can own those nodes, these touch points with the customer, and can sell this integrated, seamless and personalized experience. And that's actually what makes the customers stick to you, to your brand, to what you're selling. And now, of course, AI kicks in, and AI is exactly the driver, the lever that supercharges this experience first era. So the more AI you can use, the more experience it is, and the easier it is also to get that seamless experience across the different life environments and ecosystems whilst traveling from A to B.
Simon, which demographic would embrace this the quickest? Would it be not going to be boomers? Would it be Z? Would it be X, Y? I just learned that there's a Generation Jones between boomers and X, somebody told me. So which generation or two demographic cohort would embrace what you're talking about?
I think it's probably even the younger generations. I think it's probably even the Z generation. I mean, every generation that basically spends their time walking around the iPhone like this, completely immersed in their technological digital world, whilst everything on the outside kind of fades. And the moment you have this, I think the moment you have this seamless experience where you don't have to stop doing what you're doing. So if you are, let's say, if you are on a call with someone at home on your computer, you can see each other, there's a video call, maybe you can somehow, you start moving, the call continues. During the walk towards a car, the car realizes maybe, hey, there's somebody who needs a car, that needs a transport, automatically places itself in the right spot. They know your calendar, they know where you need to go to. And the moment you're in the car, maybe the video pops up again. Your color scheme is there. What you want to see.
That's pretty sci-fi, kid. That's almost eerie. Bill or Eric, let's chime in here. It is. Eric, Bill, go ahead, Bill.
I don't think that's that very far away, right? The ability for the intelligence in the car to recognize you're coming and that you're on a video call and have it automatically switch over. I think that's something that that we'll see far sooner than later. I think he's right on with this. It's and the notion of this personalization of a space that's not really been personalized the way we're describing it now is, I think it's real. And I like the way he kind of characterized the winner as the one who can really bring that as it extends from our home. So
wow. Thank you. Eric, any thoughts there?
I mean, I agree. It's personalized smart transportation, right?
Yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll probably get to that within the next, I mean, technology-wise, we can get there very soon. It's going to be more the government and the city regulations on allowing that to happen. But I say in the next decade, you'll see that.
Interesting. And there's been a trend I've been reading for the past 5 or 10 years that young people are not getting driver's licenses because they don't need to own a car to drive a car. There will be eventually robo taxis. There will be lifts and there will be all kinds of Ubers that will take them places and there will be shared and somebody else will drive. And they're simply not taking driver's ed and they're not getting licenses. So the question is, when we go to the Z or the Y generation, Simon, who will still be driving? Will this entice them to come back? Go ahead briefly.
I think maybe, maybe it will be, if you're thinking about writing a resume or your CV, it will be one of those parts that you will put under your hobbies, What are you doing for your spare time? What are your hobbies? And then one
My
of your hobbies
car.
could be driving a car. That would be a hobby. That's not that's not a purpose anymore to get from A to B. It's like driving
lifestyle.
a stick.
It's lifestyle. It's a lifestyle choice. Let me go to Bill's prediction number 3 here. This is a little bit different. Let's go here. I have a feeling we need to do another part to this show because there's so much more to talk about. We're just going in directions I didn't even expect. Bill says, understanding people on the road. Self-driving cars will be able to read your face, your voice, your body language to know how you're feeling. Let's go to sci-fi, kids. If you're stressed or tired, the car may be able to drive more carefully. They'll also be able to watch other people, like walkers and bikers. I assume that's motorbikes and scooters and bicycles, and react safely based on how those users move or act. Bill, this is interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, and the one use case or the one example that I left out was, every now and then, if you're scrolling through one of these video streaming, video playback things, you'll see the case where they'll show a man and his wife driving, and suddenly his wife will jump, right? And then the guy locks up the brake, and then they show the car in front of him, and there's nothing in front of him, and he looks at her like, "Why'd you do that?" Right? But the car will be able to at some point detect when the passengers are uncomfortable and potentially prevent you from driving in a way that makes them uncomfortable and encourages you to drive in a way that makes everyone feel comfortable, right? So there's a lot of really cool things that are going to come, and I think it's really more of a question to what Eric mentioned, right? Of when will the laws catch up and how quickly can they enable us? Because a lot of the technology is there to detect when people are uncomfortable, using AI and video and with respect to people on the road, right? If you can see that they're watching the car and they're nervous, right? Maybe the car can automatically give them a little bit more space so they're not anxious about it. Or if it's somebody old, and I shouldn't say old, but if it's somebody who's moving a little more slowly, not necessarily able to move, maybe we can give them a little bit more space. I really think the cars are going to become smarter, not just around you and I and the driver and the occupants of the car, but the entire environment around the area.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could minimize, reduce, and then eliminate automotive deaths? Isn't that where this is heading? If we could stop the ramifications of driving UI under the influence, wouldn't that be a wonderful benefit if the car would be able to suggest or take control and make it safe at that moment before an impact or a skid or something like that? That would be a supreme benefit in my book to helping. We have a choice now. We've got about 12 minutes left. I can read another prediction from each of you, or we can do some car stories. Let's have a vote. We're going to make it very demographic and democratic here. Would you have a couple stories you want to tell, Eric?
Sure.
One from you, one from Simon, and one from Bill. Everybody good? Because I've got one too. Eric, let's start with you. Let's go to what car stories would you like to share with us? A special one.
Okay, so we'll talk about not safely driving.
Duh.
Yeah. So many years ago in San Francisco, my first sports car that I bought was a Dodge Viper. So if any of you know, I mean, this is the first year it had air conditioning, early 1995. Gorgeous green car I bought in the Bay Area. And that car almost became the death of me a few times, right? So one, I'm in my 20s. Two, that vehicle, while fast, was not very corner friendly. Let's put it like that. It went fast in a straight line. big back tires, lightweight back end, led to lots of fishtailing and spin outs. So one day I'm driving down the Embarcadero on my way home from work, and there's a CBR motorcycle next to me at the light, revving his engine, and we decide to go, right? So we're going down the Embarcadero. We get this straight stretch of road. He's pushing it, I'm pushing it. And as we get around this turn, I'm starting to celebrate because I'm a good car length ahead of him, until I look up and see there's a stoplight with a semi truck parked right there. And so I lock him up, car goes sideways. I'm literally about to duck because the car's going to go under the truck. And somehow, grace of God or skill or just pure luck and fear, I straightened the car out, found a spot right next to that truck, next to a concrete barrier, didn't touch a thing, and came to a full stop. So there's another light after that. I roll up to that, and there was a car that was behind us that saw the whole thing, and my top was down. He rolled up next to me at the next light and looked at me and said, "That was close." And I couldn't even speak. Just went.
Oh.
So yeah, so that I don't want my kids watching this. A cautionary tale of what may have been the end of me back in 1990, probably 6 or 7 or so.
Oh my goodness, what a story. Thank you very much. Glad you're here. I had a near accident like that where I should have been killed and I wasn't, and it's still a miracle how spinning out across 3 lanes of traffic at 85 miles an hour in the rain, landing on the guardrail, and nobody touched me. Nobody touched me or nobody saw me, nobody touched me, nobody called for help. The car was just totaled on the rear right panel, but I was fine and there was nothing happened, and it was I shouldn't be here. I still believe, Bill, Eric, I still believe that story was, I need to see the road cams to see how that happened, because it was physically impossible that I survived that accident.
That's where a bit of AI would have helped us all. In both
I would love to know what forces were at work that saved my life that day, because I still don't understand it. Simon, we need a car. I wasn't going to tell that story, but
give
Eric
me
forced me.
give me 1 second. I need to find the right picture for that. Actually.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to let Bill go. Let me get Bill. Go ahead of you, Bill. Let's have your car story, please.
Well, my car story was very similar to Eric's. I was going to talk. The only difference is I wasn't the one driving. Right, I was in the car a long time ago. A friend, Frank, who actually had a reputation of never missing something to hit, never missing the opportunity to drive into something. But so I'll tell the story. So we're driving down the road. And I actually was sitting in the back seat, and my brother-in-law was in the front seat, and I heard him say to my buddy Frank, "There's what are the crossing guards, the people who stand in front of the school and allow the kids to cross." He's saying there's a crossing guard in the street, and then he said, "Frank, he's in the road," and at which point, right, I put my seatbelt on and braced myself. And then he said it again, "Frank," and then I just kind of leaned over so I couldn't see anything. Next thing I know, the wheels were squealing, and the car, and we ended up in a ditch, right? And the car, I mean, it wasn't a very pleasant or pretty sight. And he's probably watching this and texting me right now because I heard my phone beep. Right. But the reason I tell that story is because AI could have seen those folks out in the road and not let him do that, or not, and. I mean, like I said, I was no help. I was in the back, and I was looking for a way to brace myself because I knew it wasn't going to go well. But yeah. So if you're watching, Frank, sorry.
Get one of those autonomous vehicles, Frank.
Thank
yeah,
you,
he
Bill.
had a reputation. People would he's never seen anything he didn't hit.
Thank you, Bill. I hope we're not getting into a rut here. Simon, what's your car story? Go ahead. We have a few minutes left.
Okay, great. Actually, I got 2, and I think one fits quite well into Bill's prediction.
I see your picture. I see your picture.
I did change the picture. I'll get to that as well in a second. To be honest, I remember I was younger. It was like 2 a.m. in the morning. We were out. Yes, we were having a bit of alcohol, and we were being responsible.
Okay.
I said, let's take a taxi.
Okay, you can stay.
Let's take a taxi home, and that means taking a taxi home from, at that time, Munich to Lake Ammersee is about 40 minutes. Takes forever. And the taxi driver was a 70, 75-year-old guy who, first of all, was a bit like, yeah, a little bit shaky. And he was like, let me drink some coffee. I felt so unsafe with him. He wasn't driving fast. I had to wake him up twice. So everything I wanted was like, enjoy the little buzz I had from partying, like chill, relax, get home safe and sound. At the end of the day, he nearly fell asleep twice. I had to wake him up. I came home like I was sweating. I was definitely 100% awake. And a little bit of a smart car that I can trust, and that's the key here, would have been nice. Story number one, fitting to Bill's prediction. And then story number two, I just uploaded this picture in the back here.
Mm-hmm.
And actually that was, I was lucky because one of my best friends invited me to join the, how was it called? Lamborghini Bull Run. So we had a few Lamborghini Steratos in the snow, and at some point we came up with the idea, hey, great, we got a snowboard. We wanted to go snowboarding the next day. We got a snowboard, we got a car that can run in the snow, that's great. So let's try to actually pull each other with the snowboard and the car on this huge parking lot. And we had a lot of fun. And that's one of those things. I mean, hey, can you do that with an AI-driven car? Probably not.
Probably not. Well,
So that's him. That's me
That's
driving the car at that
great.
point. A really fun day.
Thank you for sharing your car stories. I'm going to add some happy car stories. Happier. Have been the owner of 5 Nissan Zs, ZXs, Zs. I started in '79. A couple of them were white. One was blue with the silver trim. Most of them were white. A couple were convertibles. The last one, the one with the accident was in, was a pearl white with red rag top and red leather interior, and it was gorgeous. And it didn't have many miles on it, but I had to let it go. But the point was, in the earlier days when I was driving other Zs and I was living in New York, men would stop me and try to buy my car. And this happened on the road to the Midtown Tunnel in New York one day, waiting to get through the toll bridge. And somebody put down his window in the next lane and said, "Hey, lady, how much do you want for your car?" And I thought that was very interesting. I thought he'd take me to dinner first, but that's besides, you all get that joke. Well, some of you do. And then the other thing was when I was pulling out of my building in Great Neck on Long Island, some teenage boys saw me pulling out of this underground driveway, and they stopped me and said, "Hey, lady, do you want to sell your car?" It was just, I guess it was unusual to have that particular model of a Z. And I've only driven automatics. I don't do well with stick, but the car was just, it was a magnet. I never met people through it, but I had people wave at me on the highways at 80 miles an hour with the earlier ones. And everybody seemed to want this car. And the more I talked about it over the years, the more people said, "Oh, I owned a Z," mostly men. "Oh, I had a Z. I used to have a Z when I was at," right, Eric? Right, Bill? Right, Simon? When I was younger, I had a Z. Oh, my first car was a Z, and it was like the car of the rite of passage, right? It was that everybody had, but I had 5 of them, and now I have a Z4. It was the only Z I could find after the other one was totaled. A Z is a Z in my life. But the point was, I had to learn, and I call this car a computer on 4 wheels. There were so many settings, and I'll tell you, the setting that was set when I bought this car, it was used, but very low mileage, no smoker, one owner. It was great. I paid cash for it. It was expensive and it's beautiful. But the settings were that it was going to have that lane control. Now, what happened was I got too close to the lane, the car would start to shake a little to say, "Go back." That was the feeling that happened the day I lost control in the rain when my tires failed and the car went over 3 lanes and onto the guardrail. So I had to figure out how to get that lane control off. That was an experience I didn't want to have when I'm driving on a normal sunny day. I'm in Loudon, Tennessee, and I don't drive in the rain. But the point is that that setting was nerve-wracking to me. It scared me because I had had that experience in the previous car. So I figured out how to get those. I had to watch YouTube videos to do half the things that this car needed to do. The guy who sold it to me had to come and give me a tutorial in my driveway before I could. I made him drive the car to my house, and it was in Durham, and I said, "You got to show me how to use this," because anyway, we've got to go. We've got to. What did Voice America saying? Jordan is saying his aunt got rid of her Z a few years ago. Fun car to drive. Yes, it was. You tell your aunt I said it was a fun car to drive. Gentlemen, one word. Will you still be having the keys to your car 10 years from today? Eric, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Simon?
Yes.
I know. Bill?
Yeah. Old
My
school.
wife's going to drive me around.
You give her the keys to the car. I'm sure there's a Beach Boys song to go with that. We're just going to go out in a second, but let me get the music ready and stick around. We'll talk for a few, and I want to take some pictures afterwards. I'm not ready to play the music yet. No. I want to thank, I've just had a wonderful time chatting with the three of you. Like, I won't say old friends, good friends. I think this was a lovely way to talk about AI and automotive. Eric, what do you think? Good?
Oh, always great, Bonnie. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, my pleasure. Eric, that's Eric. Simon, I hope this was good for you.
Always good. I love it. Thank you so much.
Lovely. And Bill, you're the newcomer to the group. I hope you enjoyed this.
I absolutely did. All three of you are great to chat with. It's fun.
Wonderful.
Next time we're looking for a full beard as well.
Yes.
So
And by the way,
I actually tried to copy Eric this time. Proper full beard. So all done.
Listen,
Bill,
kids,
you're next.
can I predict that we're going to come back and do a part 3 with new car stories? Would you all like to do that during the summer? Let's stick around. We'll pick a date. Thank you to Jordan Henson, my engineer for the Voice America YouTube channel. Let me play the outgoing music. Let's see if we're ready to go. Okay.
Are you tired of hearing the future is already here? We are too. That may have been yesterday's future, but today's future hasn't happened yet. Take a deep breath, tune out the hype, the noise, and turn up the volume. Savvy, art of the possible technology visionaries talking about how today's innovations right now are shaping every aspect of our real future. We'll laser focus our spotlight on buzzworthy tech like artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, augmented reality, and lots more. Clear your calendar and open your mind for Technology Revolution, the future of now. With the most upbeat host on global radio, Bonnie D. Graham. Listen anywhere, anytime, on any device.
Whoa, thank you all. We actually did have some live viewers and they're still there on YouTube, and we've got somebody on Facebook. So we're going to say goodbye, and I'll be back next week with another show. I don't even know what's on the calendar, but this is live weekly. We don't pre-record, we don't scrub or edit. We make a mistake, we live with it. That's the philosophy here. Bonnie D signing off. We're going to sign off from